Hello, what's good everybody? So, a few days back I've hit 1,000 subscribers on Instagram and I thought, hey, let's make an AMA. So you people posted your questions and I had an excellent excuse to make a first actual video that is not a shit post. Because, as some of you might have noticed, my channel doesn't really have any tangible content. There's just videos on there with things, you know, gameplay cutouts and stuff like that. So I thought that would be a nice way to kick off this channel with, you know, an actual video and see where I go from there. Originally I had some drawing footage planned for the background and I kind of forgot about that, so that didn't happen. So instead you will have the soothing visuals of skateboarding birds. So without further ado, let's just jump into the questions. GUI Norbert and The Real Melioni asked me about my age. How old are you? I am in my mid-20s. Cringe Crusader and Maxi112 want to know about the next song with Alan Aztec. And here's the thing, we don't really plan those. What usually happens is that one approaches the other with an idea, like, hey, this would be mad funny if we did that. And if we both agree that the idea is good and the timing's right, we just get to work. This is how it usually happens. Next up, Falcapon asks, why are you so cool? I don't know, it just happens. Manura Tiger asks, can you show us your normal voice? This is my normal voice. This is how I usually speak. No YouTuber voice, nothing. Nix verstellt, alles normal. Next up, Hizkia Adriel asks, how much fanart should I make for you? Honestly, go wild. As much as you're having fun, it's completely fine. You can make all the fanart you want. Alexander Matzkeit asks, some new songs on your Spotify soon? Are you asking about my Spotify or Alan's Spotify? The question with Alan is already answered. On my own channel, I pretty much just have one song. It's a chiptune track I uploaded for testing purposes. But coincidentally, I have some chiptune in the works. I can play a small sample out of it so you have a little teaser of what's to come. Next up we got Basto1365 who asks, which is your favorite music that you made? My personal favorite out of the bunch that I made with Alan Aztec's gotta be Busmark. It's a rather close tie with Disco Panther and Zeppelin Bass Machine, but for me personally Busmark has the best end product. The way everything works together, I like it. Which is not to say that it's the best in every single aspect, but the way everything synergizes for me personally sticks out the best. The Vicious Pumpkin asks, favorite hard bass track of all time? That's a tough one. If I really had to choose, it would be Rigi Bestigi from Yummy. I don't know what it is about the song, but this one song gets me hyped every single time. Then again, it just changes from day to day, what your mood is, what you just listen to, what you have heard for the last few times, and yeah, it's not an easy pick, but if I really had to, it would be Rigi Bestigi. Next up, HeightSat0_ asks, are you a cat? No, I'm a duck. And Menno Aiden says, I was your 1000th follower. Yes, I know. You can be proud of yourself. Mariechen98 asks, magst du deine Katze? Ja, ich mag meine Katze. Autumn's Beast asks, what do you like to draw the most? That is a good question. Honestly, it changes from day to day and what I'm currently into. Sometimes it correlates with what I'm playing currently, sometimes it correlates with what I'm listening to, but usually it just whatever pops into my head, really. Though my uncontested most favorite pictures to draw were always posts that just mutated into detailed, elaborate artworks for no reason, and I love it every time. You know, the Barsic Space Marine or the raccoon that's getting shit-faced on a longboard. Those kind of pictures gotta be my favorites because the pictures basically draw themselves. You spend the entire time laughing your ass off about the absurdity of the picture, it's fun throughout, and before you know it you spend multiple hours drawing a detailed picture, and it's just a fun activity. Seong Min 0101 asks, where are you from? Most people know where I'm from the songs that I made vocals for, but for those who don't know, I am from Germany, Deutschland. Genau da. Rafael Mayo Ambiente asks, why you love hard bass? For me, I think it's the same reason why most people love hard bass. It's fun music with a fun community, and it's uplifting every single time. What's not to like? Jai Molotov asks, how did you learn to draw so well? You're a machine. First of all, thanks for the compliment. Second of all, how I actually got where I am is actually very simple. I initially just had fun drawing, and I have been drawing for years, improving myself, seeing how other people do their drawings, seeing how I can learn new techniques, grabbing a few things here and there, you know, but at the end of the day it all just boiled down to keep practicing and keep analyzing your own work. And the hard part about this is actually investing your time, going out of your way, taking time out of your day to do this, and be critical towards your own work. This is very important. If you have trouble drawing hands because of the anatomy, if you have trouble drawing eyes because of the positioning, be honest with yourself and work on it. There is nothing gained with trying to come up with excuses as to why things are the way they are. This might be going on a bit of a tangent, but I've seen so many people justifying what they did as their own style, and that they are deathly afraid of losing this style. And there are kind of two things wrong with that. For instance, if you draw your style in a way that depicts hands as circles, as an example, that is completely fine, but if you only do that because you can't get into the anatomy of hands, you gotta be honest with yourself and maybe work on that. The second misconception is that even if you want it, even if you actively worked towards it, you cannot lose quote-unquote your style. At maximum, you develop multiple styles that you can voluntarily switch in between. There is nothing like a lost style. It can happen that you don't draw as you used to, but in 99.9999% of the cases, that is actually a good thing. 5 Joseph 2 asks, dream car? That has got to be hands down the Honda NSX. The one from the 90s, not the new one. You may like your Supras, you may like your Skylines, your rotary engine RX-7s, but the NSX for me is like the cheat code car of the 90s. This car was built by like the most regular car manufacturer at the time, known for reliable cars that get mileage to no end, and they just make this super sports car that absolutely shreds the competition at the time. And yeah, it's got no shenanigans, no rotary engines, everything just works. No offense towards rotary engine fans, but you know, they kind of stopped production for a reason. I think the only downside to this car is, especially in the rise of JDM car culture, this car is absolutely unaffordable. Like, in a usable condition, you can almost buy a house for that money, so yeah, that's that. Next up, Tor Voyats asks, what inspired you to do hard bass? I made some covers for the hard bass community for Yummy and Alan at the time, which is where I knew Alan from, or inverse, he knew me from. And one day he just was like, you speak German, right? And I was like, yeah, I speak German, why? We did some recordings, we tried some things, and well, it just clicked, everything worked. It was fun. Zev217 asks, favorite song? That's a bit of a tough one, but if I had to choose from all genres across every single year, that has got to be Miami Disco from Perturbator and the covers like the one from Richard E.B. It's not super aggressive, it's not super hype, it doesn't have a super mega out there style. But I'm a huge Hotline Miami nerd, and when I played the first time through Hotline Miami 1 and 2, I had the blast of my life. And while there might be songs like Roller Mobstar that certainly pack a lot more energy than Miami Disco, they are also very exhausting at the same time. You can't really listen to them often without being fed up with it. But with Miami Disco, it's always in my playlist, and when it comes on, I just let it go, and when the drops hit, oh boy, that gets me going every single time. And that about wraps it up. I might be doing more videos in the future. I'm not entirely settled on the format, what I'm gonna do. It might be some drawing, might be some gameplay, maybe talk about things. We'll have to see. But if you have anything you would like to see from me, just leave it in the comments, I'm gonna read through them. Or if you have a question, you can also leave that in the comment and I might reply to that. That's it for me, and I might see you in the next one. Take it easy.